Hello, brothers and sisters of the metal, as Rob Halford might say. Hi, better late than never. I'm going to do my top 10 of 2017 after, I don't know, about 2 weeks of doing the first part of it. I've been very, very ill, just in case you're wondering, but now I'm feeling a little bit better, so why don't we just power through my 10 favourite albums of 2017. And boy, getting in at number 10, we're going to go hardcore, we're going to go metallic, we're going to go with Get the Shot from Quebec with their album Infinite Punishment. This is really kind of swinging, groovy, violent, nasty metallic hardcore. Imagine that, a really steroided up, nasty cancer bats with all the rock and roll taken out, completely replaced by horrible brutality. This is the ultimate spin kick album of the year. Really hits the spot. Not really doing anything massively different, but there's an intensity and a ferocity that's quite distinctive just to this band, and they really do something that gets your blood pumping. Coming in really close to this in a very similar vein is Malevolence from the UK, from Sheffield, with Self Supremacy. Again, metallic hardcore, with the emphasis perhaps a little bit more on the hardcore. If you like Hatebreed, if you like Pantera, if you like those old Children of Bodom riffs even, then this band are going to be right up your street. Awesome hardcore, moshcore, beatdown vocals, and just a absolute fist swinging, kick in the face Malevolence, that is. And check out their previous album before that, which I can't remember what it's called now, but yeah, this one's called Self Supremacy. It fucking rocks, it grooves, it rips. Definitely check out those two. And number 8 is an album I reviewed very much earlier on in the year, going down the more doom avenue. That's Pallbearer with Heartless. The answer to the question, what would it sound like if Black Sabbath were hanging out with Queens of the Stone Age and they played some Pink Floyd? I think you get something like what Pallbearer sound like on this album. Brilliant melodic leads, gorgeous vocals, real great hooks and melodies in there, but very long, very progressive, very expansive songs. If you're going to check out one song, it's got to be Dancing with Madness. And the title track and like Thorns are also really good shouts. This one from start to finish has me gripped. Sounds absolutely amazing on vinyl, and they are really trying to taking doom to a more accessible level and going to new places with it, which is fantastic because it is often a very tied inward looking genre. At number 6, and this is a tough one, these two could be switched around. I did switch them around the last minute as well. At number 6, more traditional metal, with Trivium and the Sin and the Sentence. I fucking love this album. I've already done a video and reviewed it before. Trivium really back on form, really back to being just a really great melodic mainstream metal band. So many great cuts on here. Certainly reminds me of the bits of Trivium that I love, the Ascendancy, Shogun, In Waves sort of Trivium, rather than this sort of more, I guess, mainstream radio rock, trying to be power metal sort of thing they've been trying to do on the last 2 albums. But what they have done, as I mentioned in the review, is take the hooks and take the songwriting nous and take the soaring vocal confidence that Matt Heafy's now got, that has been the high point of the last 2 albums, and really converted it into a way of bolstering these choruses and actually adding to the overall metallic landscape. So yeah, Trivium, the Sin and the Sentence, absolutely lovely stuff on that one. At number 7, right, that was number 7. This one's number 6, all right. Number 6 is Chelsea Wolfe with His Spun. Chelsea Wolfe has been somebody that kind of flirts with the rock and metal side of things, collaborating with bands like Russian Circles, The Converge, and Mutoid Man, and pretty much anybody that's in a fucking post-rock band is pretty much collaborating with Chelsea Wolfe at the moment, but with good reason, because she comes from a very dark, legitimate place. Her last album before this one, Abyss, was just pure, heavy, oppressive darkness. Even if it wasn't always like crushing guitars, it was heavier than 90% of the bands that I talk about on here. And with this album, it's pretty much is just a straight up doom album. So there's guitars have really come to the fore. There's some fantastic, really heavy hitting clubbing drumming, great production or great help in the studio by Kurt Ballou of Converge, and also some great guitar playing on here. And Troy Van Leeuwen, I think that's how you say his name, from Queens of the Stone Age and Failure and other such bands, Perfect Circle. He lends his lead work to this, and it's just Chelsea Wolfe having to go at doing a doom metal album and pulling it off magnificently. First time, knocks it out of the park. You still got her amazing, fragile, sultry, creepy gothic vocals over the top of these lumbering riffs. There's even a appearance from Aaron Turner of Isis on there as well. And this one's been talked about in a lot of circles, and with good reason, because it is really, really special piece of music. And yeah, fully recommend it. Sticking with ladies absolutely crushing it this year is Mjörka with her album Marared. I can't pronounce it, basically it's Danish. She was somebody that's come under a lot of fire over the last few years for daring to actually try a hand at black metal despite being a woman and actually being, you know, in a popular band and stuff before, which is all bollocks, because what she's produced here is absolutely outstanding. One of the most convincing, innovative, and just seamless meshing of folk and black metal that I've ever heard of any band. That the folk beats aren't just there as interludes and just to kind of pepper the black metal or whatever, they are as strong as the black metal songs. This is just my shit. This is just the fucking perfect music for me to listen to, because it combines that sort of nerdy sort of folk Lord of the Rings medieval thing, but she does it so convincingly, and it just comes from a really personal place. Her screams are absolutely blood curdling, but her melodic vocals are pretty much the best you're going to hear from 2017. Absolutely stunning songs on there, and I would fully recommend checking it out. If you want a nice little way into it, Crown is a really good song to get the fires pumping. But really, just listen to this album. It's a one-of-a-kind thing. You won't really hear anything that sounds like it from anybody else. So yeah, Mjörka, check her out. And number 4, we've got one of my all-time faves, Converge with The Dusk in Us. Yes! Come on! Converge are one of the best bands ever. This is one of their fucking best albums they've done. Just absolutely searing, corrosive, amazing, uplifting, angular, abrasive hardcore, just played by 4 musicians. Only those 4 musicians could make this particular sound. Everything I said about Glassjaw times by a million, because Converge have been pumping these albums out for years and years and years. This is a massive leap forward from the previous album, which was great, but it was slightly below the amazing, lofty, Titanic standards that Converge usually set themselves. But yeah, this one is up there with their best, and it's one of the most experimental ones they've done. They've really taken risks, and we're hearing a lot more clean vocals from Jake Bannon, but not a really kind of cheesy, trite way. They're still very much buried and veiled in the walls of sound. This is an album which has bangers like fucking Shed a Single Tear, to like really more brooding, long drawn out cerebral tracks like the title track. So yeah, Converge, The Dusk in Us, and also check out the riff on Cannibals, because it will take your fucking face off. Oh god, I can't even believe this isn't number 1. At number 3, staying with Jacob Bannon, singer of Converge, is Where Your Wounds, the long-awaited solo project from the Converge frontman. And this is an absolutely mind-blowing thing. It's something that's actually just pulled me in and just wrapped my mind up for the whole year since it came out. And I cannot recommend this enough. This is sort of a post-rock, shoegazy project, but that doesn't really do it justice, because it goes in all different kinds of directions. If you're looking for the scream in your face, hardcore ferocity of Converge, you're not really going to find it on here, but what you are going to find is the same emotional vulnerability, that same naked, raw passion that Jake brings to any project he does. And there's some really amazing music on here that takes you to a completely other world, and there's just so much to like about it. Where Your Wounds, WYW is the album, sort of a self-titled album. Can't recommend you check this out enough. Just sit down, put some headphones on, or turn the lights off, get your sound system cranked up, and just kick back and listen to this album and step into this world, because you're not going to want to leave. At number 2, Code Orange, Forever, the new saviours of rock and metal. Yes, Code Orange, the most fucking exciting band that have come out in years, and what an album. This is their 3rd full-length album, I believe, and just to smash it out the park and completely change the game in the way they've done is absolutely astonishing. These are young kids, and they are completely putting everybody else, pretty much everybody else, to shame. If you want just absolutely swinging, disgusting, fist-flailing breakdowns, oh, you've got them on here. If you want amazing atmospherics, you've got them. If you want an alt-rock, heavy just hitter that's going to be played in rock clubs for years to come, then Bleeding in the Blur is your track there. And it's a band that is now, they've been so successful, they've been so loved up, and everybody's just gone crazy over them, and they're now getting backlash, and that's just bullshit, because every single bit of praise that they've received is 100% justified. They've been absolutely destroying it live, and this album is testament that this is pure substance. This isn't a fad. This isn't a trend. This is real now, motherfucker, to quote them. I want to listen to it now. Okay, and number one, which may not surprise you, my favourite band, Mastodon, with Emperor of Sand. Obviously, I reviewed that earlier on this year, and it's an album that I've just continued to play and play and play and play. This is Mastodon at the top of their game, an album that I hadn't dared dream they could make again. I thought maybe we've seen the peak Mastodon. Those days of the fucking Crack the Skies, the Blood Mountains, the Leviathans, maybe they're all behind us now. As much as I love The Hunter and Once More Around the Sun, but this is as good as anything they've done. And what they've done here is not only just produce a stunning concept album and something that will stand the test of time, but they've cemented themselves as one of the greatest heavy metal bands of all time, or one of the greatest bands of all time. They are now legends in the bracket of anyone you care to name. Iron Maiden, Metallica, Pantera, Judas Priest. They are in that bracket now. And what they've actually managed to do is bring those progressive elements from previously, bring those melodic elements that they've done for the last couple of albums, and also bring those disgusting, nasty, sludgy New Orleans, well, Atlanta as it were, riffs, meld them all together, and they've added an emotional heart to this in a way that we've not heard from them before. And this album is a pure masterpiece, from the artwork, from track one all the way to the end, to Jaguar God, which possibly may be the best Mastodon song ever. Mastodon are a one-of-a-kind special band, and this is one of their masterpieces. So, yeah, they've blew me away again. So that is my top 10 of the year. I'm going to put links and stuff in the description as well if you want to check any of these bands out. So I'll put like a song by them from the album, which represents it is pretty well, hopefully. What are your albums of 2017? What are you looking forward to this year? Why am I asking you so many questions and getting so angry? I don't know! But seriously, yeah, check them all out, because there's a lot of exciting things that happened last year, and there's a lot more exciting things happening this year. Rock is on the up, metal is on the up, and I can't wait to see what delights we have in store this year. So, you have a lovely evening, and I will catch you later. That, yeah? You having some of that? All the cool kids do it, none of the cool kids do it. Bye.